He was at 47 points.
Yeah, the more you do this, just like I said, the more you start fooling around and racing each other, that's what happens.
Carpenter and Dixon touch. Dixon is into the wall, and there's that Castroneves that came by and just clipped him. Hinchcliffe for the race lead, dealing with the lap car of Simon Pagenaud, and we have a yellow.
Oh, a lotion.
And Hawksworth, a lotion, was back on the lead lap, and we wanted to side.
Imagine
that's a lotion just coming in his screen,
there, and he loses it.
Yeah, nowhere for Hawksworth to go. Lotion lost it, and boom, right into the side and head on into the wall. It was a hard hit. Very similar to the crash that Connor had with Newgarden. Very similar, but luckily these guys walked away from this one.
Hawksworth was just
out of the south. You'll feel
we got a spin right there.
That's Chilton. Yeah, Max Chilton lost it, and Davey. That's a very, very tricky part of the racetrack. Looked like it just cut loose of the apex.
Yeah, you see that car. That is, that's an Andretti. I mean, a Ganassi car there, and Chevrolet down in there looks good. I mean, I don't even see any correction. He's really in line. Boy, it just takes off so late in that corner. Not very far from missing the safer barrier, but man, it turned around, and you'd like to see it hit left rear first and then the left side first, where it absorbs that energy just a little bit better than hitting head on that direct tub. But it got his attention. He has a small little limp, but thank God he got out of the car. He waved to the fans and take him to the med center and get him released. But you can just see it turn so fast and it just whips. And then that nose, boy, it's a tough way to hit. But Delar, like I say, they do such a great job with these cars. I mean, I really feel the safest race cars that there is.
To 91 miles an hour, and around one more time, we've got another car into the wall. This time it's Hinchcliffe.
Another huge hit. Radiators are broken. Antifreeze coming out on the track. That's a big hit.
To the safety vehicle. We'll ride along with him.
Wide open and just loses it.
Right in the center of the turn.
And that was not just like a gentle loose. That was just a snap gone. Absolutely
yeah,
no chance.
No chance to correct it or try to get out of it. It just snapped, and it was all over. Parts flying. Looked like they went over the fence.
Somewhat adjusting, negotiating that back wing, trying to figure out the right amount of downforce, and once again we have another car backed into the wall.
That's a hard hit because he hit square, Townsend, right square on the gearbox. Both wheels are on. The other guys kind of hit at a glancing angle. That was a very square hit. Square right on the gearbox, which is the worst case scenario, really, because all that G-load just gets pushed right back into the chassis and the car.
And that was earlier in the turn. Right where he's parked now is where we saw Takuma Sato and James Hinchcliffe hit the wall. So he hit it a little bit earlier.
Yeah, he was loose right away. As soon as he turned in, it was going around. And that, now you see it hit square right there.
That is close. Karam is in trouble. Hard crash.
I just started to say bail out of it. It's not worth it at this point in the race.
He had worked his way up to 6th place.
Teamed up with a low. That is Townsend Bell. Not enough room there. Townsend's right down to the white line, but Sage really should have bailed out of that, because this is not the last lap or the last 10 laps of the race. He really was a no-win situation to try to carry speed around the outside of the track there. But a driver with more experience probably would have realized that and taken his foot off of it and just let Townsend go.
But he was on a tear. He was doing really, look at that. There's no way for Townsend Bell to go anywhere. He was going so well. All he had to do, like you said, just bail out of that pass, filter back in, and he probably would have passed him within a lap and a half. Let's remember how far back he started.
Straight away in your minimum speed in the corner.
Oh, whoa! And around goes Takuma Sato back into the wall.
And that's a hard hit right there. He was wide open.
All right, buddy.
That's a lot of damage to that car.
You okay there?
He's just catching his breath. It's good to see him moving in the cockpit. And it just looks like, Paul, he got in there to one and just way too loose, and it just came around on him.
Take a listen to this.
Well, we didn't have the audio, but I promise you it was a big boom.
Violent.
And so thankful for the safer barriers for an impact like that. And you got to remember, the teams were here for 2 days testing. Right? And everybody was kind of easy, flat, just pounding around, and you come.
Oh, we have a car in trouble. Car in trouble.
Just a little bit soft on the exit, but further back there's some wheel-to-wheel action and a big crash. Graham Rahal, I believe.
That was a big one. He went head on into the wall. It looked like he was on the inside of one of the Foyt cars and got it sideways.
There's Rahal up the inside of the black and green car, Charlie Kimball, and I think there might have just been contact right there.
And the incident is under review because of that contact.
Wow, that was a big impact.
Didn't you just have a sense something was coming with all these fast guys wanting to get back through?
Well, there's an urgency here in turn one as we ride with Graham Rahal. He's going to duck to the inside here, try to outbrake.
See if they touch wheels on the exit here, because Kimball got on the curb. Yep.
Oh, man.
Watch in real time here.
This is pretty indicative, Marty, on pit lane. Ryan Hunter-Reay's got a great car.
Well, Ryan Hunter-Reay able to go longer than everyone else, but he said on the radio, this better pay off with us staying out longer than everyone else. They talked about a wing adjustment. They vetoed that wing adjustment and a crash on the track.
Huge crash on the front straightaway. Looks like Connor Daly and I believe Joseph Newgarden. Big hit coming into the tri-ovals.
See Joseph Newgarden moving in the car. That is a big relief.
That was in the kink coming to the start-finish line. Understand that both are talking on the radio, and that is good. There's Connor Daly in his car, massive damage. You see Joseph Newgarden in his, talking to the safety workers when they got there.
We never like to see a car go cockpit first into the wall like that.
When you're on used rubbers, sometimes that could be the difference to flick you sideways. But one thing Connor's going to learn is when you get that sideways, it can hook on you. You know, if you're that sideways, you almost got to jump on the brakes because
Rossi was that sideways for 10 laps just about. So, I mean, he was the last guy that was still out there on old tires and hadn't pitted yet. Hinchcliffe,
in a way,
and him have not pitted yet. So,
in a way, having Newgarden's car there probably dampened Connor Daly's impact tremendously.
Well,
it probably saved him from a huge frontal impact.
Absolutely.
You see the car come up off the ground when it was being pushed into the wall by Daly's car. So that shows you that the second impact was very, very hard. You see reverse camera angle from Hinchcliffe's car.
Got one in the fence.
It's the snap that happens so quickly on board with Scott Dixon.
Oh, he's got some damage there, too.
That's going to hurt. That his right front wing is damaged for sure, maybe suspension.
Line with the yellow. He was at 47 points. The